So Scott Israel was the sheriff when the Parkland attack happened, and he went on TV to browbeat Dana Loesch and the NRA for his incompetence. What's up, guys? This is GN Guy. If you like my content, don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe. This guy is a complete nincompoop and is a complete incompetent. When the Parkland school happened, one of his deputies was right outside. He's the school resources officer, and he did nothing. A neighboring police department came there, cleared the school, killed the attacker, and even though it was his jurisdiction, the guy didn't do anything. The school resource officer, the Scott Israel made excuses for him, and he's trying to prop himself up. He's a corrupt individual, and he got elected by corrupt means. And he was let go. Now he's trying to weasel his way back so he could get more money. This guy's another level of disgusting Floridian. Like why is Florida always the hotbed? It was Chicago a couple years back. Now it's Florida. Are Chicagoans and New Yorkers getting old and going to Florida and then corrupting that part of the country? Could be. I know a lot of New Yorkers that go to Florida. Former sheriff of Florida, who suspended over heavily criticized police handling of 2018 shooting that left 17 people dead in high school, and sued the state's governor on Monday in efforts to reclaim his job. Another thing about Scott Israel, he colluded with one of the officials. They wanted to keep the statistics of teenagers that are getting arrested done, and the shooter. There was a lot of warning on his behavior. There was a lot of neighbors that called this guy, and they wanted to get the kid arrested or some kind of institutionalized. But this guy colluded with the other guy, and they didn't want to increase statistics, so they just gave him they just gave him a slap on the wrist at most. They didn't even go after him. You could check out the videos. I have other videos on the Parkland shooter. Governor Ron DeSantis, Republican in January, suspended Democrat Scott Israel's just days after taking office, saying the massacre of Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School was never happened if Broward County Sheriff's Office had a better lead. Israel said that DeSantis suspended him because he was spoken on gun control stance angered the NRA, which endorsed DeSantis as campaign governor last year. The NRA was the scapegoat for these people, the Democrats. The state's appointed commission in report the mass shootings issued shortly after DeSantis suspended Israel found some Broward County Sheriff's deputies held back too long instead of rushing towards the gunfire. Israel's lawsuit, which is filed in Broward County, where he was first elected sheriff in 2012, acknowledged DeSantis that his authority under the Florida Constitution is suspended of public officials, and it said that sheriff case was actions unwarranted. So there's another thing. Apparently, one of Scott Israel's sons had some issue with the law. Apparently, and Scott Israel helped him get just a slap on the wrist, so he wouldn't get into much trouble. This guy's corrupt. Governor DeSantis exceeded his constitutional authority in suspending Sheriff Israel for political reasons, not within the scope of constitutional suspension prerogative. The lawsuit said the lawsuit added that Israel, who faced criticism from parents and students killed in the high school, are entitled to reinstatement in Broward County Senator. Sheriff, you're not entitled to a damn thing. You failed you failed your community, and you deserve to be fired. REUTERS could not immediately reach Israel's attorney, Ben Kinuni, weird names, by phone on Thursday. DeSantis, aside from rebuking Israel on the shooting at a high school in Marjory Stoneman, about 40 miles north of Miami, was criticized the handling of 2017 mass shooting at Fort Lauderdale Airport by a gunman that killed 5 people. This guy doesn't want to take responsibility for anything. He went on news and went after Dana Loesch with the Parkland, the crazy kid from Parkland. You know that the one that's like she had the shaved head chick. You know what she said? She came out and saying that kid was the Parkland shooter was weird and they did not want to associate with him. And she pretty much insinuated that it was a good thing that they bullied him. I mean, that's the kind of bullying is something that causes someone to be socially isolated, and social isolation ends up making these kids lash out on these things. You know, it's not just guns. It's more than that. It's bullying. He should not have. In fact, under the current laws, he should not be even having gotten the guns if they were enforced. Unlike what Scott Israel did, because they didn't want the statistics to go up, so they wanted to keep that number down, and they didn't want to make the politicians look bad. Scientists aside, it is lamentable that Scott Israel refuses to be held accountable for his actions and continues to host disregard for the law. DeSantis spokesman Helen Ferrari told statement, in filing of the lawsuit, it could set a stage for a political battle over Israel's suspension to play out in the court instead of the state's legislature, which has the authority to review the governor's actions. A hearing has expected on the state's DeSantis suspension on Israel, and Florida State President Bill D'Agostino, a Republican, told reporters on Thursday that a process is likely to be held because of the lawsuit. This guy's he's a piece of crap. He's even his own deputies don't like him. I haven't talked to some. There's a page on Facebook, and some of his deputies are incredibly aggrieved by how corrupt and how nepotistic this guy is. You know, this guy. He's pretty much. He's the archetypical corrupt Democrat. He's the one you'd picture when you type in corrupt Democrat or search it on the dictionary. His picture's there. He's corrupt. He's snide. He tries to castigate others as he plays the victim, and he puts blame on the others for something he did. You know, this guy's a piece of crap. Right after the news came out that it was his deputy's incompetence, he starts making excuses, saying that, this, that, and the third. You know, he started making excuses on that. It's ridiculous, and this guy makes around at least 6 figures. So, guys, if you like my content, don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe.